Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Um, 2024 has been a year. Um, Everybody's being exposed. We still have police, correctional officers that are still treating inmates due to their race, color, creed, or religious or political background. Mostly black men still being targeted. I don't know what is going on in New York. I don't I don't know what is going on in New York. Hey, pre-retirement dates. Hey, the Bud Files. And I'm just sharing the news. I'm giving my opinion. And that's about it. Nobody has been talking about Mr. Robert Brooks. So, you know, they're worrying about Jay-Z, who ain't shit, and P. Diddy, who ain't shit, okay, in my book. But I'm getting ready to share this screen. I want you guys to see
Disturbing
what
body cam
happened.
footage released on Friday shows correctional officers fatally beating inmate Robert Brooks at Marcy Correctional Facility in New York. Brooks died the next day on December 10th. In the footage, the officers shove something in Brooks' mouth, punch, and kick him. This is an excerpt from footage showing multiple beatings inflicted on Brooks that resulted in his death. He was handcuffed with his hands behind his back during the incident. New York Governor Kathy Hochul released a statement saying that she was, quote, outraged and horrified after seeing footage of the senseless killing of Robert Brooks, and ordered a full investigation into his death, as well as the termination of 14 individuals involved.
I wonder how you characterize that.
Okay. Did you guys see that? Now, this has been going on for years and years and years. And I'm so, yeah, you know, who are we to be judging, to be so nobody's talking about this. I want y'all to know that this this video it contains some disturbing images. Okay. Hey, Mr. Tika, we want justice for Robert Brooks. I don't know. Hey, Blue Lotus, I don't know what's going on in New York. Something is going on in New York. You know, we had a woman that was set on fire. We got people putting folks in chokeholds. You got the migrants taking over. They say they're not going to leave New York. I don't know what it is. What it is. What is going on in New York? Now, a lot of people can say that, you know, New York is close to the waters. That was um, you know, a lot of people that came to this country, some that jumped off those slave ships and them boats and everything, that jumped in that water, you know, and that's only, you know, that is just a theory that some people say, you know, where they say the ancestors. That's why New York is having a whole lot of problems until they do right by people. But nonetheless, whether that's true or not, this is the year of 2024, and there is no way that I should be seeing correctional officers beat a man the way they beat him. So this is another article that I need you guys to listen to. Hold on. Yeah. Hello, Delaney. Hello. Yeah. So I guess I got, hold on.
Guards in fatal prison assault were accused of beating inmates before. This article is by Jan Ransom and read by an automated voice. At least 3 of the New York prison guards implicated in the savage beating death of a handcuffed man had been accused of participating in similar attacks on prisoners across the state. 2 of the corrections officers and a sergeant accused in the death of Robert Brooks, an inmate at the Marcy Correctional Facility in central New York, were previously named in federal lawsuits filed by prisoners accusing them of brutal attacks that left one man disfigured and another in a wheelchair. A lawyer for one of the injured men drew a line from the earlier accusations of violence to the attack this month. The fact that they failed to rein in these officers that they knew had beaten someone else is a direct contributor to Mr. Brooks's death, said Katie Rosenfeld, the lawyer. She criticized the New York State Department of Corrections and Community Supervision for fighting her client's lawsuit for 4 years. Letitia James, the state attorney general, on Friday released video footage of guards beating Mr. Brooks in a prison infirmary on December 9th. The footage, captured on body cameras worn by 4 of the officers, showed the guards punching, kicking, and choking Mr. Brooks over roughly 20 minutes. In a swift and rare rebuke of the guards' actions, Daniel F. Martuscello III, the state's corrections commissioner, vowed to address a culture of brutality that has long permeated the state's prison system. It is not enough to simply condemn this horrific act and then go back to business, he said in a statement on Friday. Institutional change must follow. But a spokesman for the Corrections Department, when asked about earlier allegations against the officers and why the department had not acted sooner to address them, declined to comment, citing the pending investigations. Government Kathy Hochul said last weekend that she was moving to fire the 13 guards and a prison nurse who had been implicated in the attack. In the videos released on Friday, Mr. Brooks is seen lying on the ground outside the prison with his hands cuffed behind his back. He appears to have already been beaten. The officers pick him up by his cuffed hands and hold his feet. Once inside the infirmary, officers toss him onto a gurney and take turns punching him in the head, slamming a shoe against his chest and kicking him near his genitals. At one point, an officer, with his hand gripped around Mr. Brooks's neck, pulls him up into a seated position and repeatedly lifts him up by his throat. When he appears unresponsive, an officer gives Mr. Brooks a sternum rub, pressing a knuckled fist on his chest in a painful technique used by emergency service workers to try to revive unresponsive patients. The video shows some officers walking in and out of the room, milling about in the hallway, or looking on from the doorway. Some of those assaulting Mr. Brooks pause to change their gloves or wash their hands. "This kind of looks like another day in the office," said Jennifer Schaaf, the executive director of the Correctional Association of New York, a prison watchdog agency. "These kinds of things don't just bubble up out of nowhere." Years earlier, some of the same guards had meted out brutal punishment against prisoners without provocation, according to a series of lawsuits that describe assaults by the corrections staff in glaringly similar detail. Attack in a bathroom. In February 2020, Adam Bauer was a year out from his release date when corrections officers beat him in a bathroom at the Marcy prison and then accused him of attacking them, according to an ongoing lawsuit. Nicholas Anzalone, one of the officers accused in the assault of Mr. Brooks, joined with other officers in the attack on Mr. Bauer, the lawsuit said. On Friday, a man who answered a phone belonging to Mr. Anzalone, a corrections officer who joined the department in 2007, declined to comment. "They knew about Nicholas Anzalone for many years and they did nothing," said Ms. Rosenfeld, Mr. Bauer's lawyer. Mr. Bauer said he was exiting a bathroom stall and about to light a cigarette with a battery when a guard stopped him and asked what he was doing, the lawsuit said. The officer ordered Mr. Bauer to stand against the wall for a frisk. After a few pats, the officer began punching him in the head until he fell to the floor and then kicked him, according to the lawsuit. Two sergeants and Mr. Anzalone joined in, including one sergeant who slammed a clipboard against Mr. Bauer's head so hard that the metal clasp tore a hole in his scalp. The guards then dragged him out of the prison, put him in a van, and drove him to the infirmary, Mr. Bauer said. Once there, he was forced to lie face down on the floor as Mr. Anzalone kicked his feet, the lawsuit said. Photos of Mr. Bauer show him dazed, topless, and wearing only red shorts while seated on a gurney in the infirmary. Blood was splattered on the floor and dripped down his face from 2 gashes on his forehead. "I was scared to death," Mr. Bauer, now 50, said in a phone interview on Friday. "I really truly thought they were going to kill me." To cover up the assault, the lawsuit contends the officers lied. They told a nurse that he had harmed himself. They took him to a nearby hospital and told medical staff there that he had been attacked by another prisoner. One corrections employee told hospital workers that Mr. Bauer's injuries were from a seatbelt. When Mr. Bauer was returned to the prison, he was thrown into solitary confinement on false disciplinary charges for 60 days until a prison official reversed the decision, according to the lawsuit. The Corrections Department's Office of Special Investigations looked into the allegations against the guards, Ms. Rosenfeld said, but ultimately found that the force was necessary and reasonable to get Mr. Bauer to comply. The officers, she said, were never interviewed by investigators. "You're in their world when you get there," Mr. Bauer said on Friday. "They do what they want." Permanently disfigured. That same year in September, 2 other guards now implicated in the beating of Mr. Brooks, Sergeant Glenn Trombley and Officer Anthony Farina, participated in an assault on a prisoner named William Alvarez, according to a lawsuit. Mr. Alvarez was cleaning the bathroom shower area when an officer pepper sprayed him without provocation, according to his lawsuit. Mr. Alvarez ran out into the main dorm area in sight of other prisoners, he said, but the officer ordered him into a vestibule. As he stood with his hands on the wall, Mr. Alvarez said in his lawsuit, the officer slammed his head repeatedly against it and then cuffed him. Mr. Trombley and Mr. Farina arrived, and together the three officers kicked him in the head and body before dragging him into a van and taking him to the infirmary. The attack continued in the van, the lawsuit said, with Mr. Farina and Mr. Trombley looking on as the other officer punched him over and over again until the van pulled up to the infirmary, and Mr. Trombley said, "That's enough." Mr. Alvarez, who said in the lawsuit that he is now permanently disfigured, required facial surgery. Like Mr. Bauer, Mr. Alvarez was accused of attacking the guards and held in solitary confinement for 60 days. Lawyers for Mr. Alvarez in the lawsuit described the attack on their client as intentional, sadistic, and malicious. Mr. Trombley and Mr. Farina did not respond to requests for comment. Before Mr. Trombley was moved to the prison in Marcy, New York, he worked at the Greenhaven Correctional Facility in Stormville, New York, where 3 prisoners accused him of beating them. During a frisk in June 2013, Ernest Iverson said Mr. Trombley, who was an officer at the time, whispered, "I hear you like to sue people," before placing him in a headlock. He then lifted Mr. Iverson off the floor, swung him back and forth by his neck, and struck him in his back, according to court testimony. Mr. Iverson said he planted a weapon on him. Mr. Trombley denied the allegations and said that the only force he used was to place Mr. Iverson in handcuffs. He testified that he discovered the weapon on Mr. Iverson during the search. A jury sided with the officers. A month later, a similar story emerged from another prisoner. Rendell Robinson accused Mr. Trombley of forcing him to strip naked during a frisk and said he and another officer took turns punching him in the face. According to a lawsuit, Mr. Robinson had a concussion and a fractured nose. "I really began to fear for my life at this point because they would not let go of me," Mr. Robinson wrote in his complaint to the court. In 2015, another man, Equorn White, accused Mr. Trombley and several other officers of viciously attacking him in an empty classroom, pulling his legs in opposite directions, stomping on his testicles, and striking the bottom of his feet with a baton. In his lawsuit, Mr. White said the officers, immediately after the attack, talked about what to say in department reports. He was placed in solitary confinement, and while there, he said in the lawsuit, he began urinating blood and required the use of a wheelchair. On Tuesday, before the videos of Mr. Brooks's final moments were released publicly, the state police filed applications seeking so-called red flag orders for Officer Anzalone and 2 other officers implicated in the fatal attack, Matthew Gallagher and Robert Kessler. Such orders allow law enforcement authorities to remove guns from people believed to be a potential threat to themselves or others. A judge in Oneida County rejected the applications, but ordered the state police to conduct background checks on the officers and scheduled a hearing on the matter for January 7th. Ed Shanahan and Harubi Miko contributed reporting. Alain Delacarriere contributed.
Again, these officers are really bold nowadays. It goes to show you that even though there's body cam video, they know it's going to be released. They don't care because see, they've done so much wrong. Even when these inmates tried to sue, you had jurors that didn't believe the inmates. So what they did is they gave these prison guards more ammunition to get out here. They just gave them more ammunition where they pumped themselves up like, hey, ain't no jury gonna find us guilty. We big bad. We untouchable. There is no way in the year of 2024 that I should be looking at this. There's no way I should be looking at correctional officers that know that there's body cam videos and they don't care. You know why? Because you people have let these guards do what they want to do, and the police do what they want to do to citizens, which includes beating them, unaliving them, messing with them. You people, you judgmental people, have empowered the police and correctional officers to beat up people. You've encouraged them. You gave them the power because you don't find them guilty when they've done wrong. You, the people, the citizens of this United States of America. Again, I want to warn people, this video contains disturbing images. So I'm getting ready to share this again. I want y'all to see this. I blame, I blame you people. I blame you citizens that have empowered these police officers because you've decided you're judge and jury. You've empowered them because you don't want to find them guilty of beating people or unaliving people. Crazy, isn't it? But you, the people, you, the citizens, you, the people that have served on juries, have sat up there and believed these correctional officers, where you've had the same lawsuits filed by different inmates, and you saw nothing wrong. You think it's okay? The guards are there to do a job. That is to feed them and make sure they take showers and everything else. They are not there to beat them or unalive them because they made a mistake and they are serving their prison term. But you people, you judgmental people, think it's okay. What you gonna do when these people attack somebody in your family? Because it looks like a whole lot of people are going to prison nowadays. What are you gonna do when this comes to your doorstep? What are you gonna do? That's all. That's the question I ask. When you're sitting on that jury, like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You know, these people have the police and correctional officers. These people have gotten away with so much stuff because you, the people, you sorry people, allow these people to to get away with this. You don't want to find them guilty. They're to serve and protect. They're not supposed to beat prisoners. They're not supposed to beat them. They're to serve and protect. Hey, B Sparrow, you, the people of the United States of America, has allowed this behavior to continue because you, sorry people, do not want to find a police officer or a correctional officer guilty. Again, their job is to protect and serve. It's not to beat and unalive inmates. When did they become judge and jury? And you people that sit up there, you want to defend them? You want to defend these people in a court of law when they try to sue. You people have made these police officers and correctional officers believe that they are untouchable because you sorry people want to say, um, we believe the police or the correctional officers. You are the problem, America, and the people that live in this United States of America. You are the reason this stuff still continues because of your messed up thinking. These people are not judge and jury. If a person is serving their time, their time. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, so, hey, B, I'm trying to make y'all a moderator now. So, I gotta see how I can do this. Um, Let me see. Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to. Okay. So, yeah, B, this is the guy, Robert Brooks. He was unalived in New York by the correctional officer. And I say New York, it just seems like they got so many problems. You know, you got folks setting people on fire. You got the migrants say they not leaving. I say a lot of people will say, you know, New York was like in that water are a lot of people that jumped off them boats, them slave ships. A lot of people that came over through this United States of America, you know, they say a lot of them waters is unsettled. And see, that's why we get hurricanes and different things. You know, that's some people Hold on. That's why a lot of people say, New Orleans, New York, all of these cities where they have all of these problems. They say because our people are in those waters, unsettled. You know, they haven't done right by a lot of people that came over to this United Snakes of America, you know, where people were living fine. It was people already over here. Indians, Mexicans, and blacks, Negroes, whatever they want to call us, doing fine, doing just fine. And so you had a person, Christopher Columbus, who they want to, you know, act like he was this greatest person. He great people, unalived people, took over everything. Took everything from the Indians, the blacks, and everything. Bought their principles over here. Yeah. Hey, Shayla, thanks for your motivation. I want to thank B Sparrow and Prince Pierre for holding it down. Y'all know I take 15 pills a day, and I went on the rant, ate something, and I had already taken my medicine, and I fell asleep. And if anybody knows me, that ain't the first time I fell asleep, and it won't be the last time. I'm just glad and thankful to have B Sparrow back in my life and in my shows, and she can hold it down for me. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to her channel. Please drop your links. Hold on for 1 minute. I need to see something. Hold on, y'all. Mhm. Mhm. Okay, I didn't know. Mhm. Okay, so I'm still here. Okay, as y'all can see, wait a minute. Hold on. I'm down in the computer lab, so I can share the screen. Um, hold on. I think I made a mistake. I came back in. Hold on.
Disturbing body cam footage released on Friday shows correctional officers fatally beating inmate Robert Brooks at Marcy Correctional Facility in New York. Brooks died the next day on December 10th. In the footage, the officers shove something in Brooks' mouth, punch, and kick him. This is an excerpt from footage showing multiple beatings inflicted on Brooks that resulted in his death. He was handcuffed with his hands behind his back during the incident. New York Governor Kathy Hochul released a statement saying that she was, quote, outraged and horrified after seeing footage of the senseless killing of Rob.
The Chinese military has
Okay, I'm back. Can y'all hear me? Can you hear me? Let me see. Can y'all? Okay. So anyway, you know, yeah, the sound went out, B. That was me, but that video doesn't have sound. You know, this is what I'm saying. They don't treat no other race of people the way they treat us. And see, this is what I have a problem with. You know, again, we have to call things the way we see them. Our truth. They do not sit up and do any other race of people like this. Now, y'all can say whatever y'all want to say, but we have to look at the facts. And these are the facts. Okay? They don't do migrants. They didn't do the migrants that's in prison that unalive people when they were in jail or in prison. Yeah. Honey, the migrants beating up the police officers. But this is what you steady doing to our people. And is it right? No, it's not right. You know, I don't see YouTubers, I don't see Nancy Grace reporting on this. I don't see President Nez reporting on this. But they'll report on everything wrong that the black people are doing, or they'll get mad because, you know, people they like Jennifer Lopez, was in the nightclub. Jennifer Lopez carried a weapon for Sean Diddy Combs when he allegedly shot the dopest nerd. Go check her stream out. So the YouTubers are biased too. They're biased. And all I'm doing is I'm reporting the news. I'm not biased. I'm gonna report on things that happen with all races of people. You know, I'll let y'all know about that former CEO. You know, that nobody wants, you know, they don't talk about they people, but I do. I talk about all of them that's not doing right. So there is no way that in the year of 2024 that I should be looking at, at an inmate at a correctional facility being unalived. There's no way I should be seeing video, right? But you know why I'm seeing this video? Because you people, you American people that's going along with the United Snakes of America program. Because, see, once a person has been arrested and taken into custody and detained at a police station, or once they have been found guilty of a crime, and more than likely, um, you know, there's probably an 80% chance that these people are innocent the way they target black people. So once they are detained in jail or they have been found guilty of their alleged crime and taken to prison, they don't have to answer to you police officers or correctional officers. You are supposed to make sure they get their 3 meals a day, that they follow the rules. You are there to serve and protect them. You are not there to pass judgment on them and beat them and unalive them. But you people, you United Snakes of America people, you are the reason these police officers and correctional officers have the power to do this. You gave them the power to do this. So I blame you. You people that sat on these juries when they took some of these correctional officers, they were they had lawsuits against them, and you people, you found them not guilty. They had the same lawsuits, the same playbook, and you people found them not guilty. So you gave them the power to still go back, and they probably went back and beat up 20 more, allegedly. This is just my thing, because y'all gave them the power. Y'all gave them the power. These correctional officers and police officers should be scared to do anything. They should be scared that somebody is going to report them. They should be scared because they might lose their jobs, their pensions, their families. But they ain't scared because they got y'all. Y'all gonna go along with the program. That's why they continue to do it. Y'all all involved in this, of beating and unaliving people of color. And this is April Showers. And I said what I said, and I mean what I say. You, the American people, have empowered police officers and correctional officers to do this wrongdoing because you always want to blame the inmate. An inmate. An inmate still has rights. An inmate is still a human being. You people, you that have sat up there and don't want to prosecute a police officer, some of them take the jobs so they can unalive a Negro for the day. This is April Showers, and I thank y'all for listening to me. I'm on one again today. I'm on one, and this is my opinion. Like I say, there are good cops and there are good correctional officers. I was a correctional officer. I went in and I did my job. I did not. I looked at those people as they were human beings. Okay. It was not up to me to decide that I want to have something did uh, to them because they're incarcerated. You know, that I wanted to be a judge and jury, and then I want to do something else, or let me beat up on the inmate, just to be doing it because I can get away with it. Ain't nobody gonna believe them. Every one of these correctional officers to the nurse, matter of fact, all of them need to be prosecuted. They need to be fired until a message is sent. They're still going to keep doing this. And y'all love this. Unfortunately, y'all love this. Hey, Pan, how are you doing? B, can you make Pan a managing moderator? But anyway, I did my rant. Pan, I will make you a moderator because I had to take all the moderators away because I had some bad apples in there. But anyway, thank y'all for listening to this show. You know, what's going on over there in Greece? Okay, everything's going fine. Uh, Pan, we need you. I need you to let me know when you still do your shows. I'm starting to get back into liking music. I had really got a little disgusted uh, with music. Well, there's bad apples and everything. We got bad police officers and bad correctional officers. Uh-oh, that's my phone. The bad apples are the bad police officers that decide that they want to unalive, beat, um, beat uh, African American. Well, no, FBAs, because most of the people that's in the system are, here in this United States of America. So again, you know, the unaliving and the betrayal and the yeah. So I want to thank y'all for listening to my rant. Again, the views and opinion expressed on the show are those of mine. Again, there are some good cops. I will say that there are some good cops, you know, and there are some great correctional officers. But it's a shame that in 2024 that I'm still seeing this. But since, you people let George Zimmerman get away with unaliving a man, a youth, Trayvon Martin, when he was told to stay and wait until the police came, and then you put the inmate, you put the unalived person, the deceased person, you put them down. You know, you make them like they're not even here to defend themselves, but you want to bring up their past and everything. George Zimmerman should be sitting in jail right now, right now, for the unaliving of Trayvon Martin. Okay, he should be sitting in jail. He should be in prison for unaliving Trayvon Martin. But they chose to put this boy's record because he smoked a little weed, which about 80% of Americans smoke weed. You put that on him and you let a man go free. He was a deceased victim. Trayvon Martin was a deceased victim. But since y'all, you United Snakes of America people, said, oh, he was protecting his neighborhood. You never thought once that George Zimmerman thought he was above the law. I'm not going to wait until the police come. I'm going to follow them. And Trayvon Martin probably whooped his butt. That's why he unalived him. Okay. But that's what you people do. That's what you United States of America people do. You empower them. That's what you do. You United States of America people do. You find an excuse. You help them bury the victim all over again instead of holding the police accountable. Oh, just because they're in jail, they don't deserve to be unalived or prison. They made a mistake. Some of y'all don't know what is going to touch you in this lifetime. Baby, if it don't come through you, your kids, your grandkids, your family, your cousins, everybody has got some criminals in their family. What if this was your family? What is this? And to y'all that y'all live in this lily white picket fence dream, like ain't nothing gonna touch my family. I pray for y'all. As a matter of fact, I pray for everybody. I pray for those that's even listening to this show. And I hope some of you people would change your thinking. The police officers, nor correctional officers, they are not judge and jury. They don't get to go around unaliving inmates. This is April Showers. I thank you all for listening to my show today. Thank you.